Welcome to Tech with Shaping Pixel. In this video, we're diving into the full crash course and latest real exam questions and answers for the Certified Scrum Master certification. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, we'd love for you to join our growing community. Just hit that subscribe button. We will explore key Agile concepts, Scrum teams, Scrum artifacts, and Scrum events. With this foundation, you are ready to pursue your Scrum Master certification. Introduction to Agile and Scrum. When people hear the word Agile, they often think of flexibility, speed, and adaptability. When I think of the word Agile, I think of something that is flexible, quick, connected, said one team member. Others describe it as a new, effective way to manage projects. The truth about Agile. But what is Agile really? Many believe it is just a methodology or a set of tools. In reality, Agile is first and foremost a mindset. It is an attitude that shapes how teams approach work, adapt to change, and deliver value. The 4 core values. Agile is built on 4 core values from the Agile Manifesto. These values emphasize individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working products over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. These principles apply to any industry, not just software. Agile in action. Agile means focusing on people, not just tools or processes. It is about delivering results, collaborating closely with customers, and adapting plans as things change. Agile teams value getting things done and learning as they go. Business agility metaphor. Think of business agility like a cheetah, nimble, fast, and able to change direction quickly. In today's fast-changing world, organizations that embrace Agile stay ahead. Agile is more than just a buzzword. It is a mindset shaped by 12 core principles that help teams deliver better results faster and with greater flexibility. Customer focus. The first principle is all about satisfying the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Deliver what your client needs as quickly as possible, then keep improving. Embracing change. Agile welcomes changing requirements, even late in development. Change is inevitable, and by planning for it, teams can always deliver exactly what the customer needs for a competitive advantage. Frequent delivery. Deliver working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference for shorter timescales. Iteration means constant improvement and faster feedback. Collaboration. Business people and developers must work together daily. Collaboration ensures everyone is on the same page, leading to more successful projects and happier clients. Motivated teams. Build projects around motivated individuals. Give them the environment and support they need and trust them to get the job done. Communication and progress. Face-to-face conversation is the most effective way to share information. Working software is the primary measure of progress, not just plans or ideas. Simplicity and reflection. Simplicity means maximizing work not done. Self-organizing teams and regular reflection help teams adapt, improve, and deliver the best possible results. Agile frameworks are built on shared values and principles, but each offers something unique. Today, let's explore a few well-known Agile frameworks, focusing on both project management and product delivery. Project management frameworks. First, Agile PM DSDM, or Dynamic System Development Method, stands out for its focus on the entire project lifecycle. Created in 1994, DSDM emphasizes aligning projects with clear strategic goals and delivering early business benefits. Another key framework is Prince2 Agile, a certification from Axelos. Prince2 Agile combines the adaptability of Agile with the structured governance of Prince2, making it ideal for organizations seeking both flexibility and strong management. Certification is available at both foundation and practitioner levels. Product delivery frameworks. For product delivery, Scrum is one of the most recognized frameworks. Scrum helps teams tackle complex problems while delivering high-value products. Rather than prescribing exact methods, Scrum provides a flexible structure for teams to develop their own techniques and workflows. Kanban and final thoughts. Kanban is another popular method, focusing on visualizing work as cards in a flow system. This makes abstract tasks visible and manageable for everyone. Remember, there are many Agile frameworks out there, so experiment to find what works best for your team. Scrum is one of the most popular Agile frameworks designed to help teams manage complex work. Unlike a strict process, Scrum is a flexible framework that supports various processes and techniques, making it adaptable for different teams and projects. The 3 pillars of Scrum. At the heart of Scrum is empirical process control theory, or empiricism. This is supported by 3 key pillars. First, transparency. All aspects of the process should be open and clear so everyone understands what's happening. Second, inspection. Teams regularly check their work and progress toward goals, ensuring everything is on track. Third, adaptation. If something isn't working, the team quickly adjusts their approach to stay aligned with their objectives. The 5 values of Scrum. To bring these pillars to life, Scrum relies on 5 core values: courage to tackle tough problems and do what's right, focus on the sprint and its goals, commitment to the team and the work, respect by supporting each other's growth, and openness, sharing challenges and being honest about obstacles. Applying Scrum in your team. By embracing these pillars and values, teams can build trust and work more effectively. Consider how these principles might fit within your own organization and team. Scrum artifacts. A product backlog is the essential to-do list for any Scrum team, capturing everything known that needs to be done for a product. It helps everyone see and describe all upcoming work, making planning and prioritization much easier. What is the product backlog? Think of the product backlog as a single source of requirements for any changes or new features. Each item or ticket usually includes a feature name and a description of what done looks like. Teams might use software or even sticky notes to track these items. How is the product backlog managed? The product owner is responsible for keeping the backlog up to date and priority ordered. As new requirements, user feedback, or market changes arise, the product owner adds and updates items, ensuring the backlog always reflects the latest needs. The refinement process. Refinement is a continuous process where the development team and product owner review, estimate, and revise backlog items. Items are broken down if too large, and those higher in priority are described in more detail, ready for upcoming sprints. Why the product backlog matters. A well-maintained backlog keeps everyone aligned, helps forecast feature delivery, and adapts as requirements evolve. It is the heartbeat of Agile product development. When managing a product, it is helpful to have both a long-term and a short-term view. That is where the sprint backlog comes in, providing a focused list of what needs to be accomplished in the immediate sprint. What is the sprint backlog? If the product backlog is the complete list of everything needed for the product, the sprint backlog is a subset, the specific items chosen for the current sprint. These items are directly tied to the sprint goal, such as launching a new feature or updating an existing one. How the sprint backlog works. The sprint backlog helps the development team forecast what will be ready in the next product increment. It also includes at least one process improvement from the sprint retrospective, ensuring continuous improvement is always part of the plan. Why the sprint backlog changes. As the team works, they may discover that some tasks are larger or smaller than expected. The sprint backlog is dynamic and can change during the sprint, but only the development team can make these adjustments. Monitoring progress and benefits. The sprint backlog offers a real-time, highly visible snapshot of progress. Tools like burn-down charts help track work remaining, making it easier to see if the sprint goal will be met and to clarify team capacity for future planning. In Scrum, before any new feature is considered complete, the entire Scrum team must agree that it meets their shared definition of done. This definition is a set of criteria that ensures quality and usability, and it can vary between teams. It answers the question, does this work meet our standards for being truly finished and ready for use? The increment explained. Once backlog items meet the definition of done, they become part of the increment. The increment is a core Scrum artifact. Think of it as the latest version of the product, containing all completed work from the current sprint, plus everything finished in previous sprints. Each increment must be usable, even if it is not released to customers right away. It represents a step toward the team's overall vision or goal. Real-world example. For example, a software development team might require that new features work on a test device, withstand repeated use, and include updated user guides. When Claire finishes her work, AD tests it and checks the documentation. Once both agree it meets their definition of done, it's added to the increment. Key takeaways. The definition of done ensures quality and shared understanding. The increment is the usable, cumulative result of all completed work, making it essential in Scrum. The Scrum team. In Scrum, the development team is at the heart of building the product. These professionals are responsible for delivering a potentially releasable product increment at the end of each sprint. Without the development team, there simply would not be a product to review or release. Self-organization and autonomy. Unlike traditional organizations where workers are line managed and told what to do, Scrum empowers the development team to self-organize. This freedom fosters a better working environment, encouraging creativity and removing unnecessary boundaries. As a result, the team is more focused on delivering a high-quality product. Roles and structure. The development team is cross-functional, meaning it has all the skills needed to create the product increment. There are no sub-teams or specific titles like team leader or area lead. While members may have specialized skills, everyone is accountable to the team as a whole. The Scrum Master guides the process, and the product owner is accountable for the product, but only the development team creates the increment. Team size and productivity. A development team should be small enough to stay nimble, but large enough to complete significant work. The ideal size is typically between 5 and 7 members for optimal productivity. The development team is truly the engine room of Scrum, driving creativity and quality in every product increment. The Scrum Master is a key member of any Scrum team, but their role goes far beyond simply managing meetings or enforcing rules. So what exactly does a Scrum Master do? Scrum values and pillars. At the heart of their role, the Scrum Master promotes and supports the 5 values of Scrum: commitment, courage, focus, openness, and respect. By fostering these values, they enable the 3 pillars of Scrum: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. This means making sure everyone can see the process, checking progress regularly, and adjusting as needed to keep the team on track. Supporting the product owner. The Scrum Master helps the product owner by ensuring everyone understands the goals, scope, and product. They suggest tools like Kanban boards or software such as Jira or Trello and help organize the product backlog for maximum value. Serving the development team. For the development team, the Scrum Master coaches self-organization, removes obstacles, and facilitates Scrum events. They also help the team adapt in environments where Scrum is still new. Impact on the organization. Beyond the team, Scrum Masters guide the entire organization in adopting Scrum, planning implementations, and increasing productivity. Essential qualities. Ultimately, a great Scrum Master is a servant leader, always ready to adapt and support their team's success. In Scrum, the product owner is not someone who physically owns a product. Instead, the product owner is the single person responsible for maximizing the value of the product that the development team is working on. Key responsibilities. The product owner acts as the main point of contact for the organization regarding the product's progress. They answer questions like, is the product releasable? Or what version is the product in? Importantly, the product owner is not a committee, but one individual, though they may represent the interests of a group. While they guide the development team on what features are needed, they do not dictate how those features are built. Product backlog. A crucial responsibility of the product owner is managing the product backlog. This means ensuring backlog items are clearly described, properly ordered, and visible to everyone who needs access. Whether using software or sticky notes, the product owner guarantees that the backlog is understandable and up to date, even if others help maintain it. Communication and collaboration. The product owner ensures clear communication within the Scrum team. They interact with the wider organization to gather feedback and input, making sure everyone understands what needs to happen with the product. Their decisions must be respected for the team to succeed. Scrum events. In Scrum, the term sprint might sound athletic, but it's all about making big projects manageable. Instead of tackling everything at once, teams break work into smaller, focused sprints, making progress feel achievable and organized. Sprint duration and purpose. A sprint is the heartbeat of Scrum, set within a time box of up to 1 month. Many teams, like the creators of this course, prefer 2-week sprints. The main goal is to deliver a usable, potentially releasable product increment, not the entire product, just a valuable piece. Sprint events overview. Each sprint includes several key events. It starts with sprint planning, where the team decides what to work on. Daily scrums follow, giving everyone a chance to share updates. At the end, there's a sprint review to assess what was built, and a sprint retrospective to reflect and improve for next time. Sprint goals and flexibility. Every sprint has a clear goal, usually to produce a product increment. While the scope can be renegotiated with the product owner if needed, changes that threaten the sprint goal are avoided. Quality standards always remain high. Why sprints matter. Short sprints keep teams motivated and focused. By breaking work into manageable chunks, Scrum helps teams deliver results consistently without getting lost in endless processes. The daily Scrum, sometimes called a stand-up, is a short, focused meeting held every day during a sprint. It is all about transparency within the Scrum team, making sure everyone knows what is happening and what needs to be done to achieve the sprint goal. How the daily Scrum works. This meeting is time-boxed to 15 minutes and always happens at the same time each day to keep things simple. The daily Scrum can be face-to-face or digital as long as everyone has a webcam. During the meeting, each team member answers 3 questions. What did I do yesterday to help reach the sprint goal? What will I do today to help reach the sprint goal? And is there anything stopping me from reaching the sprint goal? This structure is set by the development team, and if deeper discussions are needed, they happen right after the Scrum. Why the daily Scrum matters. The daily Scrum gives everyone visibility into progress, helps identify obstacles, and ensures the team is aligned. It optimizes the chances of meeting the sprint goal and upholds Scrum values like openness and transparency. Best practices and key takeaways. Keep the daily Scrum focused, brief, and consistent. It is a vital meeting that improves communication, highlights issues early, and helps the team adapt quickly to changes. Scrum teams work in short cycles called sprints. But before any sprint begins, the team needs a clear plan. That is where sprint planning comes in. Sprint planning is the event where the Scrum team decides what work will be tackled in the upcoming sprint. The sprint planning session. A sprint planning session is time-boxed, meaning it cannot exceed a set duration. For a 1-month sprint, planning can last up to 8 hours, but shorter sprints have shorter sessions. The Scrum Master ensures everyone understands the purpose and keeps the session within its time limit. Key questions and inputs. During sprint planning, the development team asks 2 key questions. What can be done in this sprint, and how will the work get done? Inputs like the product backlog, the latest product increment, projected team capacity, and past performance all help guide these decisions. Setting the sprint goal. The Scrum team crafts a sprint goal, which is clear, achievable, meaningful, and visible. The product owner discusses objectives, usually based on product backlog items, and helps clarify priorities to meet the sprint goal. Building the sprint backlog. With the goal set, the team selects backlog items and plans how to deliver them. This plan, called the sprint backlog, guides the team's work. The development team self-organizes, breaking down tasks and adjusting as needed to ensure a successful sprint. A sprint review is a crucial event held at the end of every sprint, just before the retrospective. Its main goal is to inspect the product increment created during the sprint and adapt the product backlog based on feedback and findings from the review. Who attends and what happens? The sprint review brings together the Scrum team, which includes the product owner, development team, and Scrum Master, along with invited stakeholders. During the meeting, the team demonstrates the working product increment, often through live demos, to showcase what has been accomplished during the sprint. Key activities and collaboration. This meeting is informal and focused on collaboration, not just status updates. The product owner explains which backlog items are complete and which are not. The development team shares what went well and what could be improved. Everyone discusses what should happen next, considering external factors like market changes or organizational shifts. Why sprint reviews matter. Sprint reviews are time-boxed, ensuring they stay productive and focused. The Scrum Master ensures everyone collaborates and sticks to the schedule. The main outcome is an updated product backlog, guiding future sprints and keeping everyone aligned on the product's direction, timeline, and priorities. After every series of work, taking time to reflect is essential for growth. In Scrum, this reflection happens during the sprint retrospective, or retro. The retro is a dedicated event where the Scrum team examines its performance in the previous sprint, aiming to learn from experience and continuously improve. What happens in a retro? The retro takes place right after the sprint review and before planning the next sprint. Its length depends on the sprint duration. For a month-long sprint, it is 3 hours, while a 2-week sprint is 1.5 hours. During the retro, the team discusses what went well, what could be improved, and whether workflows, tools, and relationships functioned as expected. The team then identifies and prioritizes improvements to implement in the next sprint. Role of the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master facilitates the retro, ensuring everyone participates and understands its purpose. They keep the meeting positive and focused on actionable improvements rather than dwelling on negatives. The Scrum Master guides the team to enhance both their processes and their enjoyment of work. Benefits and closing thoughts. Sprint retrospectives foster transparency and adaptation. By reflecting together, teams create actionable plans to boost product quality and team dynamics. This continuous improvement cycle is key to delivering value and maintaining a healthy collaborative environment. Useful Agile tools. Estimating effort in Agile projects is essential, but remember, every estimate is just an informed guess. Early on, estimates can vary widely, as shown by Steve McConnell's cone of uncertainty. Over time, as we deliver increments, our estimates become more accurate. Relative versus absolute estimation. Instead of trying to estimate in absolute terms, like exact hours or costs, Agile teams use relative estimation. For example, it is easier to say one task is about twice as complex as another rather than guessing exact numbers. This approach is more natural and reliable for teams. Using the Fibonacci sequence. To make relative estimation practical, teams often use the Fibonacci sequence 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and so on. The sequence grows quickly, making it easier to represent both small and large tasks. Assigning these numbers helps teams benchmark effort consistently. Understanding velocity. Velocity is the total number of points a team completes in a set period, such as 2 weeks. If your team's velocity is 200 points, meaning planning more than that means you are likely overcommitting. Consistent velocity helps predict project completion more accurately. Planning poker and collaboration. Planning poker is a collaborative estimation game. Each team member votes on effort using Fibonacci cards, discusses differences, and re-votes until consensus is reached. This method builds shared understanding and responsibility, making Agile estimation both accurate and team-driven. Monitoring progress in Agile environments is essential for keeping teams on track and delivering value. Let us explore two popular methods: burn-down charts and Kanban boards, each offering unique insights into team progress. Burn-down charts. A burn-down chart is a simple yet powerful tool. It plots estimated effort points against the number of days in a sprint, helping teams visualize progress. The horizontal axis shows time, while the vertical axis displays effort points. Ideally, the line trends smoothly downward, but in reality, it zigzags as work is completed in bursts. This visual representation quickly highlights whether the team is on pace to finish their sprint goals. Kanban boards. Kanban boards, originating from the Toyota Production System, or TPS, are another effective way to track progress. They use columns like To Do, In Progress, In Test, and Done. Requirements move across the board as work advances, making the workflow visible and manageable for everyone involved. Kanban principles. To use Kanban effectively, start with your current process, pursue incremental change, respect existing roles, and encourage leadership at all levels. These principles foster a culture of continuous improvement and team empowerment. Kanban practices. Key practices include visualizing workflow, limiting work in progress, managing flow, making process policies explicit, and improving collaboratively as a team. Together, burn-down charts and Kanban boards provide clear, actionable insights for Agile teams. Projects are everywhere, from tech to event planning. But what exactly is a project? It is a temporary effort designed to deliver a unique change, always with a clear start and endpoint. Key project factors. At the start of any project, it is crucial to identify what matters most. There are four key factors: time, or how long the project will take, money, or the budget, quality, which can vary, and scope, meaning what the project will actually deliver. What is Moscow prioritization? In agile ways of working, we often focus on scope since not all features end up being used. That is where Moscow prioritization comes in. Moscow stands for must-haves, should-haves, could-haves, and won't-haves. It helps teams rank requirements by value to the customer or end user. Moscow in action. An example. For example, an event planner might decide that securing a venue near public transport is a must-have, goodie bags are a should-have, and alcohol is a won't-have. This approach ensures the essentials are prioritized. Why Moscow matters in Agile. By using Moscow, Agile teams can deliver projects on time by adjusting scope instead of extending deadlines or increasing costs. Value means different things to different people. For some, it is time. For others, it is honesty or even a good night's sleep. As you can see, value is subjective. In agile environments, understanding what value means is the first step to delivering it. Why value matters in agile. Value is crucial because it guides prioritization. During sprint planning, teams select work based on the value it brings to stakeholders and the organization. Knowing what is valuable helps teams focus, align with organizational goals, and avoid wasting resources on tasks that do not contribute to the desired outcome. How Agile creates value. Agile ways of working are designed to deliver value incrementally. User stories are crafted around customer needs and perceived value. Each sprint, customers review progress, confirming that value is being created. This iterative approach means value is delivered and validated regularly, rather than waiting until the end of a project. The co-creation of value. Today, value is not just delivered by organizations, but co-created with stakeholders. By collaborating, taking feedback, and adjusting work, teams ensure the value produced matches stakeholder expectations. Even though value is subjective, defining it clearly benefits both Agile teams and the organization's strategy. You have now explored key Agile concepts: Scrum teams, Scrum artifacts, and Scrum events. With this foundation, you are ready to pursue your Scrum Master certification. Certification options. There are two main paths to certification. First, you can book an exam with Scrum.org. Visit their website and, using your new knowledge, aim for the Professional Scrum Master 1, or PSM1, certification. Alternatively, you can enroll in a course with the Scrum Alliance to become a certified Scrum Master. Encourage your Scrum team to start filling up the backlog and work toward delivering valuable increments. Good luck on your certification journey. We are now diving into most asked question in CSM certification exams.
Question number 1. Who determines whether the development team has been assigned enough work in a sprint? And we have four options. Option A, the development team. Option B, the product owner. Option C, the product owner and the Scrum Master. And option D, the Scrum Master. So the right answer here is option A, the development team. Question number 2. Which of the following is not a Scrum artifact? And we have four options. Option A, user stories. Option B, sprint backlog. Option C, product backlog. Option D, software increment. So the right answer here is option A, user stories. So each artifact contains a commitment to ensure it provides information that enhances transparency and focused against which progress can be measured. So for the product backlog, it is the product goal. So for the sprint backlog, it is the sprint goal, and for the increment, it is the definition of done. Question number 3. Which of the following is not a product owner responsibility? And we have 4 options. Option A, maintaining the product backlog with current information. Option B, working with stakeholders to determine and detail product features. Option C, assigning tasks to team members. Option D, prioritizing the product backlog. So the right answer here is option C, assigning tasks to team members. Question number 4. Please select which statement is the most accurate. And we have 4 options. Option A, Agile development is an implementation of Scrum. Option B, Scrum is an implementation of Agile development. Option C, Agile development and Scrum are synonymous for the same methodology. And option D, Agile development and Scrum are contrasting methodologies. So the right answer here is option B, Scrum is an implementation of Agile development. Question number 5. What is the maximum amount of time that the team should spend in the daily Scrum? And we have 5 options. Option A, as long as it takes. Option B, 1 hour. Option C, 45 minutes. Option D, 15 minutes. Option E, 15 minutes, proportionally less for shorter sprints. So the right answer here is option D, 15 minutes. Question number 6. Which of the following activities do not occur at the end of the sprint? Choose 2. And we have 4 options. Option A, software development. Option B, release deployment. Option C, sprint review meeting. And option D, quality assurance testing. So the right answer here is option A, software development. And option D, quality assurance testing. Question number 7. Which of the following is not a product owner responsibility? And we have 4 options. Option A, running the daily Scrum meeting. Option B, team communication. Option C, gathering requirements for product backlog items. Option D, inspecting work at sprint review. So the right answer here is option A, running the daily Scrum meeting. Question number 8. What does the Scrum development team attempt to develop at every sprint? And we have 4 options. Option A product that is ready for customer delivery. Option B, a completed sprint backlog. Option C, a product that is ready for QA and QC testing. Option D, a product increment that is potentially ready for customer delivery. So the right answer here is option D, a product increment that is potentially ready for customer delivery. Question number 9. The sprint planning meeting is comprised of how many sections? And we have 4 options. 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer here is option C, 2. Question number 10. What is the maximum duration of each sprint planning meeting section? And we have 5 options. 1 hour, 30 minutes, 4 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes. So the right answer here is option C, 4 hours. Question number 11. From the activities given, which is the latest step in sequence of the Scrum framework? And we have 4 options. Option A, daily Scrum. Option B, sprint retrospective. Option C, sprint review. Option D, sprint planning. So the right answer here is option B, sprint retrospective. Question number 12. How should items in the product backlog be ordered? And we have four options. Option A, alphabetically, first and then by list order in the product backlog. Option B, grouped by business features first and then chronologically by date of original business request. Option C, prioritized by business importance first. The items that result in biggest ROI must be prioritized first. Option D, chronologically by date of original business request first and then by list order in the product backlog. So the right answer here is option C, prioritized by business importance first. The items that result in biggest ROI must be prioritized first. Question number 13. How many hours per day should a person on a Scrum team work? And we have four options. Option A, a sustainable pace, usually from 7 to 8 hours per day. Option B, an ideal day, measuring only when he or she is productive. Option C, however many hours are needed to get the work done. Option D, 14 hours. So the right answer here is option A, a sustainable pace, usually from 7 to 8 hours per day. Question number 14. Which of the following is a role in the Scrum framework? And we have four options. Option A, database admin. Option B, development team. Option C, QA tester. And option D, senior developer. So the right answer here is option B, development team. Question number 15. According to Scrum, the amount of time for a team to plan sprint activities is expressed in what unit of time? And we have four options. Option A, weeks. Option B, days. Option C, hours. And option D, minutes. So the right answer here is option C, hours. Question number 16. The Scrum framework encompasses rules or guidelines for documentation. So is the statement true or false? So the right answer here is option B, false. Question number 17. Under what circumstances should the product backlog be reprioritized? And we have four options. Option A, the Scrum Master should reprioritize the product backlog only at the end of new sprint. Option B, the Scrum Master should reprioritize the product backlog only at the beginning of new sprint. Option C, the team should prioritize the product backlog only at the end of new sprint. And option D, the product owner should reprioritize the product backlog whenever new information is learned. So the right answer here is option D, the product owner should reprioritize the product backlog whenever new information is learned. Question number 18. The individual detailed pieces of work that are needed to convert a product backlog item into a working software component or solutions are called, and we have four options: user stories, use cases, line items, tasks. So the right answer here is option D, tasks. Question number 19. What is the primary objective of the daily Scrum? And we have four options. Option A, to share with the team what each member has completed in the sprint, what each member will work on next, and to report progress roadblocks. Option B, to give a status report to the product owner on what each member has completed in the sprint, what each member will work on next, and to report progress roadblocks. And option C, to discuss work details with the team since every team member must attend the meeting. Option D, to give a status report to the Scrum Master on what each member has completed in the sprint, what each member will work on next, and to report progress roadblocks. So the right answer here is option A. Question number 20. Which of the following statements best explains what the term sprint means in Scrum? And we have four options. Option A sprint is a specific amount of days for a team to test and resolve any issues prior to product release or shipment. Option B, a sprint is a specific amount of days for a team to work at a sustainable pace to finish select work. Option C, a sprint is an agreed upon period of time for team members to select individual items from the product backlog to work on. Option D, a sprint is a specific amount of days for a team to work as many hours as needed to finish assigned work. So the right answer here is option B. So question number 21. Which statement best describes what it means for an activity to be time boxed? And we have four options. Option A, the activity must take place on a particular date. Option B, the activity must start at a particular time. Option C, there is a maximum time limit for the activity. And option D, there is a recommended amount of time for the activity. So the right answer here is option C. There is a maximum time limit for the activity. Question number 22. So Dash can change the priority of items in the Dash backlog at any time. And we have four options. Option A, the team, product. Option B, the product owner's sprint. Option C, the product owner's product. And option D, the Scrum Master sprint. So the right answer here is option C. So the product owners can change the priority of items in the product backlog at any time. So question number 23. Which statement below best describes the primary objective of the sprint review? And we have four options. Option A, the primary objective of the sprint review is to demo the sprint work for senior management. Option B, the primary objective of the sprint review is to demo the sprint work and to receive feedback from the product owners on the work completed in the sprint. Option C, the primary objective of the sprint review is to demo the sprint work and to receive feedback from the Scrum Master on the work completed in the sprint. And option D, the primary objective of the sprint review is to demo the sprint work and to recommend ways to work better in the sprint. So the right answer here is option B. The primary objective of the sprint review is to demo the sprint work and to receive feedback from the product owners on the work completed in the sprint. Question number 24. Which of the following is not a Scrum cycle activity? And we have four options. Option A, sprint retrospective. Option B, daily Scrum. Option C, weekly inspection. And option D, sprint planning. So the right answer here is option C, weekly inspection. Question number 25. Which statement below best describes the primary objective of the sprint retrospective? And we have four options. Option A, the primary objective of the sprint retrospective is to identify what went wrong or hindered the sprint. Option B, the primary objective of the sprint retrospective is to provide feedback to the product owners. Option C, the primary objective of the sprint retrospective is to recommend ways to work better in the sprint. Option D, the primary objective of the sprint retrospective is to review the work completed by the team during the sprint. So the right answer here is option C. The primary objective of the sprint retrospective is to recommend ways to work better in the sprint. Question number 26. Which of the following statements best describes product backlog items? And we have four options. Option A, undefined or poorly defined product backlog items should be placed on the product backlog with a low priority. Option B, all product backlog items are the results of an analysis, requirement, or design phase. Option C, undefined or poorly defined product backlog items should be kept out from the product backlog until sufficient detail is known. Option D, every product backlog item, whether low priority or high priority, should possess sufficient detail for the team to complete in a sprint. So the right answer here is option C, undefined or poorly defined product backlog items should be kept out from the product backlog until sufficient detail is known. Question number 27. What artifact shows actual versus planned progress? We have four options. Option A, workflow. Option B, burn down chart. Option C, task breakdown. And option D, stakeholders. So the right answer here is option B, burn down chart. Question number 28. Dash constitute the sprint backlog and are often estimated in hours. And we have four options: user stories, use cases, features, tasks. So the right answer here is option D, tasks. So tasks constitute the sprint backlog and are often estimated in hours. Question number 29. Which of the following is not part of the sprint? And we have four options. Option A, the product is released to customers after each sprint. Option B, the principal goal for a sprint is to produce release quality increments in functionality. Option C, releases usually incorporate the result of multiple sprints. Option D, occur at times dictated by customer and business needs. So the right answer here is option A, the product is released to customers after each sprint. Question number 30. Under what circumstances should separate product backlog be maintained? And we have four options. Option A, there are several product owners for one product. Each product owner should have their own product backlog. Option B, there are multiple teams working on independent products. Each unique combination of team and product should have an independent product backlog. Option C, there are multiple product features being developed by the same team. Option D, there are multiple teams working on the components of the same product. Each team should an independent product backlog. So the right answer here is option B. There are multiple teams working on independent products. Each unique combination of team and product should have an independent product backlog. Question number 31. What is the maximum amount of time a sprint retrospective should take? And we have four options: 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 3 hours for a 30-day sprint, and 8 hours for a 30-day sprint. So the right answer here is option C, 3 hours for a 30-day sprint. Question number 32. What happens when all committed items are not completed at the end of the sprint? And we have four options. Option A, the sprint duration is extended. Option B, the tasks are determined to be unnecessary. Option C, the return to the product backlog. Option D, none of the above. So the right answer here is option C, the return to the product backlog. Question number 33. The most encouraged time of day to hold a Scrum daily meeting is, and we have four options. Option A, beginning of the day. Option B, immediately after lunch. Option C, 4:30 p.m. and option D, 7 p.m. So the right answer here is option A, beginning of the day. Question number 34. Is Scrum Master a management position? And is the statement true or false? So the right answer here is option A. Yes, the statement is true. So question number 35. Who is on the Scrum team? And we have following options: project manager, project owner, product owner, development team, manager, CEO, Scrum Master. So the right options are option C, product owner, option D, development team, and option G, Scrum Master. Question number 36. The product backlog is maintained by, and we have four options. Option A, the Scrum Master. Option B, the development team. Option C, the product owner. Option D, the product owner and Scrum Master. So the right answer here is option C, the product owner. Question number 37. What is the Scrum? And we have four options. Option A framework within which people can address complex adaptive problems while productively and creatively delivering products of the highest possible value. Option B, it is not a agile framework. Option C, Scrum is a complete process to develop software. Option D, none of the above. So the right answer here is option A framework within which people can address complex adaptive problems while productively and creatively delivering products of the highest possible value. Question number 38. Who has the authority to cancel a sprint? And we have four options. Option A, the team members. Option B, the Scrum Master. Option C, the product owner. And option D, the project manager. So the right answer here is option C, the product owner. Question number 39. Who defines the sprint backlog scope? And we have four options: product owner, development team, Scrum Master, stakeholders. So the right answer here is option B, development team. So question number 40. What is the major difference between product backlog and sprint backlog? And we have four options. Option A, the product backlog is equal to the sprint backlog. Option B, the product backlog is a subset of the sprint backlog. Option C, the sprint backlog is a subset of the product backlog. And option D, the sprint backlog is owned by the product owner. So the right answer here is option C, the sprint backlog is a subset of the product backlog. So question number 41. As the sprint planning progresses, the workload has grown beyond the development team's capacity. Which actions makes most sense for the team? And we have four options. Option A, work overtime for the sprint. Option B, collaborate with the product owner and potentially remove or change items. Option C, cancel the sprint. And option D, start the sprint and recruit additional team members. So the right answer here is option B, collaborate with the product owner and potentially remove or change items. So question number 42, what does the sprint backlog consist of? And we have four options: user stories only, use cases, selected backlog items and tasks, test cases. So the right answer here is option C, selected backlog items and tasks. So question number 43, what happens when the sprint is cancelled? And we have four options. Option A, the Scrum team disbands immediately. Option B, the complete sprint backlog is put back to the product backlog. Option C, the complete sprint backlog items are evaluated for a release and incomplete items are ignored. Option D, the complete sprint backlog items are evaluated for a release and incomplete items are put back to the product backlog. So the right answer here is option D, the completed sprint backlog items are evaluated for a release and incomplete items are put back to the product backlog. Question number 44. What is the release burn down? And we have four options. Option A graph indicating what has been completed by the Scrum team. Option B, a measure of the remaining product backlog across the time of a release plan. Option C, what has been completed by the Scrum team to date. Option D, the work remaining to be completed by the product owner. So the right answer here is option B, a measure of the remaining product backlog across the time of a release plan. Question number 45. Who is ultimate responsible for the product backlog item estimates? And we have four options. Option A, the development team. Option B, Scrum Master. Option C, stakeholders. And option D, project owner. So the right answer here is option A, the development team. Question number 46. When many Scrum teams are working on the same product, should all of their increments be integrated every sprint? And we have four options. Option A, no, that is far too hard. Option B, no, each Scrum team stands alone. Option C, yes, but only the Scrum's teams whose work has dependencies. Option D, yes, otherwise product owners may not be able to inspect what is done accurately. So the right answer is option D, yes, otherwise product owners may not be able to inspect what is done accurately. Question number 47. What is the primary responsibility of the Scrum Master? And we have four options. Option A, to prioritize the product backlog. Option B, to remove any impediments the development team encounters during their work. Option C, to work with the product owner to develop the product backlog. Option D, to manage the development team. So the right answer here is option B, to remove any impediments the development team encounters during their work. So question number 48. When should the product owner ship or implement a sprint increment? And we have four options. Option A, at the end of every sprint. Option B, when the team feels is done with every sprint. Option C, whenever the increment is free of defects. And option D, when it makes sense. So the right answer here is option D, when it makes sense. So question number 49. So value is, and we have four options: subjective, objective, impartial, unbiased. So the right answer here is option A, subjective. So the value is subjective. Question number 50. The purpose of a burn down chart is to, we have four options. Option A, visualize progress. Option B, monitor blockers. Option C, inspire the development team. And option D, create opportunities. So the right answer here is option A. So the purpose of a burn down chart is to visualize progress. Question number 51. What does estimation need to be done relative to? And we have four options. Option A, the time to other work. Option B, the effort of similar work. Option C, the scale of similar work. And option D, the relativity theory of Einstein. So the right answer here is option B, the effort of similar work. Estimation does need to be done relative to other work. Question number 52. What is true of projects? And we have four options. Option A, they are always temporary. Option B, they don't always have a specified start and end date. Option C, they are always delivered on time. Option D, they always meet a projected budget. So the right answer here is option A, they are always temporary. So question number 53. The four universal aspects of any project are time, money, quality, and dash. And we have four options: sacrifice, scope, satisfaction, sales. So the right answer here is option B, scope. Question number 54. Understanding dash is critical for the success of any work. And we have four options. Option A, what value are you are trying to create. Option B, the vision of your product. Option C, what the market values. Option D, what your organization wants from a product. So the right answer here is option A, what value you are trying to create. So question number 55. Velocity in an agile environment refers to the average number of dash a team can get through in a sprint. And we have four options: points, tasks, projects, lines of code. So the right answer here is option A, points. So question number 56. Kanban boards visualize work as a system of dash. And we have four options: metrics, flow, logic, cards. So the right answer here is option B, flow. So question number 57. Who ensures the sprint planning event happens? And we have four options. Option A, the dev team. Option B, the scrum master. Option C, the product owner. And option D, all of these choices are correct. So the right answer here is option B, the scrum master. So one of the scrum master's responsibility is to ensure all the scrum events occur. So question number 58. Who attends the daily scrum? And we have four options. Option A, the dev team. Option B, the product owner. Option C, the scrum master. And option D, all of the choices are correct. So the right answer here is option D, all of the choices are correct. So everyone in the scrum team should be in the daily scrum. There can also be observers if invited, but they should not interrupt the scrum. Question number 59. What is the primary purpose of the sprint retrospective? And we have four options. Option A, to reflect on the positive and negatives of the previous sprint. Option B, to look at improvements that can be made to the development process. Option C, a chance for team members to journal their thoughts. Option D, to give everyone an opportunity to be candid on what they can think of the product and what they like and dislike about it for so far. So the right answer here is option B, to look at improvements that can be made to the development process. So the retrospective should be about improving the process of the development team. The positives and negatives of the sprint can be looked at, but that is not the primary purpose of the retrospective. Question number 60. What is the time box for planning a 2-week sprint? And we have four options: 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, and 10 hours. So the right answer here is option A, 4 hours. For a 2-week sprint, plan for about 4 hours. As a general rule of thumb, multiply the number of weeks in your sprint by 2 hours to get your total sprint planning meeting length. Question number 61. What is the maximum length of a sprint? And we have four options: up to 2 weeks, up to 4 weeks, up to 3 weeks, as long as the Scrum team sets. So the right answer here is option C, up to 4 weeks. A sprint should last no more than 4 weeks. Any longer, and there is a risk that the development team will lose sight of the development of the product and could lose motivation. Question number 62. What is the time box of a retrospective for a month-long sprint? And we have four options: 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So the right answer here is option B, 3 hours. The sprint retrospective should be no longer than 3 hours for a month-long sprint. Question number 63. What is the purpose of the sprint review? We have four options. Option A, to review the product increments. Option B, to adjust the product backlog. Option C, for stakeholders to review the products created. Option D, all of the choices are correct. So the right answer here is option D, all of the choices are correct. So question number 64. What is the time box of a daily scrum? We have four options: 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So the right answer here is option C, 15 minutes. So a daily scrum should last no longer than 15 minutes. So question number 65. Who attends the sprint review? And we have four options. Option A, the dev team. Option B, the scrum master. Option C, product stakeholders. And option D, all of the choices are correct. So the right answer here is option D, all of the choices are correct. The entire Scrum team, as well as any product stakeholder, should be in attendance in the sprint review. Question number 66. When does a sprint start? And we have four options. Option A, the Monday after the previous one ends. Option B, the first working day of the month. Option C, as soon as the previous one ends. And option D, the day after the previous one ends. So the right answer here is option C, as soon as the previous one ends. A sprint starts as soon as the previous one ends, so there is always a sprint occurring. Question number 67. What are the three pillars that enable Scrum teams? And we have four options. Option A, transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Options B, transparency, inspection, and evolution. Option C, transparency, increments, and evolution. And option D, tangibility, increments, and evolution. So the right answer here is option A, transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Question number 68. How big is the development team? And we have four options. Option A, as big as it needs to be. Option B, no more than 5 people. Option C, no more than 15 people. And option D, between 3 and 9 people. So the right answer here is option D, between 3 and 9 people. Between 3 and 9 members of a development team is considered the sweet spot in terms of size. Question number 69. What does Scrum ask the organization to respect? And we have four options. Option A, the Scrum team. Option B, that their workers are professional and that they know what best to do. Option C, the Scrum Master. And option D, the Scrum principles. So the right answer here is option B, that their workers are professional and that they know what best to do. Workers need to be respected as professionals. Question number 70. How does the product owner interact with the organization? And we have four options. Option A, they inform the organization of the day-to-day activities of the development team. Option B, they keep the organization up to date with the day-to-day development of the Scrum team. Option C, they interact with the organization on the progress of the product and allow them to make requests of the Scrum team. And option D, they fill in documents about the Scrum team for the organization. So the right answer here is option C. They interact with the organization on the progress of the product and allow them to make requests of the Scrum team. The product owner doesn't take orders from the organization. They keep the organization up to date with the progress of the product. They are able to take suggestions from the organization, but these doesn't have to be implemented. So question number 71. What authority does the Scrum Master hold over the Scrum team? And we have four options. Option A, they manage the Scrum team and deal with the day-to-day management of the development team. Option B, they dictate what each of the Scrum team members should be doing each day. Option C, they are the servant leader of the Scrum team. Option D, they have no authority and just show up at Scrum meetings as an observer. So the right answer here is option C. They are the servant leaders of the Scrum team. The Scrum Master is a servant leader. They hold no authority over any other team members. Question number 72. What aspects of the product is the product owner responsible for? And we have four options. Option A, managing and owning the backlog. Option B, the product itself. Option C, guiding the development team on the product. Option D, all of the choices are correct. So the right answer here is option D, all of the choices are correct. The product owner takes ownerships of the product. So all of these plus more are the responsibility of the product owner. Question number 73. What does being a cross-functional team mean? And we have four options. Option A, that all the skills necessary exist within the team. Option B, that each team member has their own specialism. Option C, that every team in the organization has a particular specialism. And option D, that teams can communicate effectively. So the right answer here is option A, that all the skills necessary exist within the team. A development team should have all of the skills that it requires to produce a reasonable product. Question number 74. How many sub-teams are in a development team? And we have four options. Option A, one for every specialism within the team. Option B, two, one for future increment releases and one for the current increment. Option C, 0, everyone in the development team is accountable for work produced. Option D, as many as there need to be. So the right answer here is option C, 0. Everyone in the development team is accountable for work produced. So there are no sub-teams in a development team. A team can divide to form new development teams if it starts getting big enough. Question number 75. What is produced by the development team at the end of a sprint? And we have four options. Option A, a potentially released product. Option B, the whole released product. Option C, a product progress update. And option D, a new folder structure for the product's version files. So the right answer here is option A, a potentially released product. Question number 76. Who tells the Scrum team what to do every day? And we have four options: the organization, the product owner, the Scrum master. No one does. So the right answer here is option D, no one does. This self-organizing. So if anything, the Scrum team tells the Scrum team what to do. Question number 77. How big is a product backlog? And we have four options. Option A, as big as it needs to be. Option B, it has a maximum of 100 items. Option C, it has 100 items per development team member. Option D, as big as the number of sticky notes you have access to. So the right answer here is option A, as big as it needs to be. Question number 78. How many ticketed items should a sprint backlog hold? And we have four options. Option A, 10 per person per week of the sprint. Option B, one for each product deliverable. Option C, as many as the team feels it needs. Option D, enough for each member of the team. So the right answer here is option C, as many as the team feels it needs. So question number 79. When can a sprint backlog be changed? And we have four options. Option A, after the week first, you need to set enough time to see what isn't going to be done. Option B, whenever something needs to be changed. Option C, only after the first day, you need to get a solid day's work in first. Option D, only during the sprint planning, the development team needs to stick to the plan. So the right answer here is option B, whenever something needs to be changed. So question number 80, what is the definition of done? And we have four options. Option A, it varies depending on the Scrum team, but everyone agrees to a definition. Option B, when a tick box can be checked. Option C, when a product meets an excellent standard. Option D, it's defined in the Scrum guide. So the right answer here is option A, it varies depending on the Scrum team, but everyone agrees to a definition. Question number 81. What is the refinement process? And we have four options. Option A, the way of making sure product backlog items properly reflect the work needed. Option B, the way of getting extracted minerals into a usable form. Option C, the way of making sure sprint backlog items properly reflect the work needed. Option D, all of the choices are correct. So the right answer here is option A, the way of making sure product backlog items properly reflect the work needed. The refinement process helps organize and clarify the necessity of the requirements of a product. Question number 82. What can the sprint backlog enable? And we have four options. Option A, a real-time view of the work happening in the sprint. Option B, the product. Option C, a product backlog. Option D, all of the choices are correct. So the right answer here is option a real-time view of the work happening in the sprint. The sprint backlog can show a real-time view of what work is being completed by the development team. Question number 83. What might cause changes to a product backlog? And we have four options. Option A, new features being requested of the product. Option B, the refinement process. Option C, issues being reported about the product. Option D, all of the choices are correct. So the right answer here is option D, all of the choices are correct. Question number 84. What does the product backlog describe? And we have four options. Option A, all of the features of a product. Option B, all of the upcoming work on a project. Option C, to do items that the product owner needs to organize. Option D, it describes the wants and needs of the organization. So the right answer here is option A, all of the features of a product. Question number 85. Which agile principles are the most important? And we have four options. Option A, principles 1, 2, 3, and 4. Option B, principles 5, 6, 7, and 8. Option C, principles 9, 10, 11, and 12. And option D, all agile principles are equally important. So the right answer here is option D, all agile principles are equally important. So every principle is equally important. To work in an agile way, you need to embrace all 12. Question number 86. Which two agile frameworks take into account the product delivery? And we have four options. Option A, Scrum and Prince2. Option B, Kanban and Scrum. Option C, Agile PM, DSDM and Prince2. Option D, Agile PM, DSDM and Scrum. So the right answer here is option B, Kanban and Scrum. Frameworks like Agile PM, DSDM, and Prince2 Agile take into account the entire project lifecycle, while Scrum and Kanban focuses on product delivery. So question number 87. Aside from adapting the Agile principles and values, what else do you need to work in an Agile way? And we have four options. Option A, software to track progress. Option B, management enthusiasm. Option C, a Scrum Master. Option D, none of these answers is correct. So the right answer here is option D, none of these answers is correct. Agile is a mindset. You don't need any of the frameworks to work in an agile way if you take on and use the agile principles and values in your day-to-day work. Question number 88. Agile process are always dash. And we have four options: defined, definitive, certain, empirical. So the right answer here is option D, empirical. Question number 89. What is currently the number one reason for adopting Agile? And we have four options. Option A, to accelerate software development. Option B, to make teams more productive. Option C, to make teams leaner and able to react to the market. Option D, to be enable teams to quickly develop a product regardless of quality. So the right answer here is option A, to accelerate software development. While there are many diverse reasons for adopting Agile, the number one reason right now is to accelerate software development. So question number 90, Agile is a, and we have four options: mindset, framework, methodology, system. So the right answer here is mindset, option A. So Agile is a mindset. While there are many Agile frameworks and methodologies, it really comes down to a way of thinking. Question number 91. Which Agile framework is the most useful in all situations? The options are Scrum, Kanban, DSDM, it depends. So the right answer here is option D, it depends. Not every Agile framework will be right for every team. You need to experiment and do research into different frameworks to make sure you are using the one that is best for you and your team. Question number 92. There are dash Agile values, and we have four options: 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the right answer here is option D, 4. So there are four Agile values. Question number 93. Who in the Scrum team is responsible for maximizing the value of a product? And we have four options. Option A, the product owner. Option B, the Scrum Master. Option C, the development team. And option D, everyone in the Scrum team. So the right answer here is option A, the product owner. Question number 94. What three factors are the trio of constraints to release management? And we have four options. Option A, budget, time, and scope. Option B, team members, time, and scope. Option C, budget, time, and training. Option D, resources, time, and scale. So the right answer here is option A, budget, time, and scope. So question number 95. Who should you collaborate with to find out your highest value items? And we have four options. Option A, product users. Option B, product customers. Option C, product stakeholders. Option D, all of the choices are correct. So the right answer here is option D, all the choices are correct. Engaging with users, customers, and stakeholders will help you find out what the highest value items of your product are. Question number 96. Which of these are the attributes of a quality backlog? And we have four options. Option A, a prioritized backlog. Option B, a forecasted backlog. Option C, a dynamic backlog. And option D, all of the choices are correct. So the right answer here is option D, all of the choices are correct. All of these are attributes of a quality backlog. Other attributes include being fit for purpose, correct level of detail, and collaborative input. Question number 97. What is the process of aligning releases with sprints called? And we have four options. Option A, product mapping. Option B, sprint mapping. Option C, sprint graphing. And option D, product geography. So the right answer here is option B, sprint mapping. Question number 98. Evidence-based management states that decisions and practices should be informed by the dash evidence. And we have four options. Option A, best available. Option B, most current. Option C, most researched. And option D, most sourced. So the right answer here is option A, best available. So evidence-based management states that decisions and practices should be informed by the best available evidence. So question number 99. What is the deep product backlog? And we have four options. Option A, detailed, approximately, eminent, estimated, and prioritized. Option B, detailed, appropriately, emergent, elegant, and prioritized. Option C, detailed, appropriately, emergent, estimated, and prioritized. Option D, detailed, adequately, emergent, estimated, and prioritized. So the right answer here is option C, detailed, appropriately, emergent, estimated, and prioritized. Question number 100. What are the four key value areas in EBM? And we have four options. Option A, current vision, unrealized value, the ability to innovate, and time to market. Option B, current value, unrealized value, the ability to explain, and time to market. And option C, current value, unrealized value, the ability to innovate, and time to market. Option D, current value, unrealized potential, the ability to innovate, and time to market. So the right answer here is option C. So the four key value areas in EBM are current value, unrealized value, the ability to innovate, and time to market.
Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, we'd love for you to join our growing community. Just hit that subscribe button. Want a downloadable PDF of these questions and answers? You can grab it from our website, www.shapingpixel.com. Full link is in the description below. Happy learning!